Yo, what's going on guys? I'm Entity Maze, and recently we got 3 brand new titles and summaries for the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime, one of which includes the first episode of the Alola League. Let's go! Which not only is this news very exciting to me personally, as you can tell, but to be honest, it also makes me quite anxious and upset by how things have been handled so far. Which, if you want to know more of my thoughts regarding that, along with what will happen in the first Alola League episode, then stay tuned. As first of all, we've got to go over the other 2 brand new titles and summaries. Which, jumping into this now, the first episode is episode 126, Pikachu's Exciting Expedition. The summary for this episode states, quote, when Ash and Torracat return from the past... Wait. What? Hold up. Torracat return from the past. Aww, the dream of Torracat evolving in the past is dead, boys. Aww, I hope Torracat still evolves though. Well, getting back to the summary, quote, when Ash and Torracat return from the past, they see Pikachu and the others look all bruised and tired. Just what happened while they were gone. End quote. This episode will air on June 16th. With that summary now said, let's now move on to my thoughts regarding this episode. Well, first of all, can we just address the fact that this summary confirmed that Pikachu won't be with Ash in the past within episode 125. This has to be like the first time ever Pikachu hasn't gone to the same place as Ash. That's crazy to hear. In fact, it was just crazy to me to witness this summary overall, as it was revealed alongside that Alola League episode, which you wouldn't think with the amount of remaining plot points Sun and Moon has to go over that you would get an episode like this before the league. But I'll come back to that later. As focusing on this plot, this episode, to be honest, despite not having any theories to what would have happened to Pikachu and his friends, does look like it could be a fun episode. As I don't know about you guys, but I get such Pikachu short vibes when reading this summary, which the Pikachu shorts were always a bundle of fun to watch. I also got major episode 16 and episode 117 vibes from this summary as well, which those episodes include Pokemon becoming lost and trying to find their way home, while providing feel good and amusing scenes along the way, which I'll be down to see once again. I love those episodes. But with that said, to be honest, that's all I can say for this episode. It just looks like it will be a feel-good episode, despite myself not particularly being content with this episode being 2 episodes before the league. However, to end off this section of the video, I do want to state that regardless of the fact that Torracat will have not evolved in the past, a theory which many of us got behind when the episode 125 summary was revealed, what if towards the end of that episode instead, young Kukui gives Ash an Insinium C that he had found, in which, after Torracat evolves in the league against the Masquerade, if he is to compete, Ash will then pull out the Sea Crystal to use their Z move against the Masquerade, which would then give Kukui deja vu, making him remember that he had met Ash within the past. That would be a pretty cool twist. I mean, maybe it's too much of wishful thinking, but hey, time shall soon tell whether this theory will be correct or not. I just really hope Torracat evolves, to be honest. I don't want it to be a Pig Knight, despite Pig Knight and even Torracat's character so far being really nice to me. Anyhow, with that said though, let's now move on to the second revealed episode, which is episode 127, Gladion and Lillie chasing a father's phantom. The summary for this episode states, quote, as the viewers have gathered at Lillie's house for Z-move training, when Lillie introduces them all to the mythical Pokemon Magearna, which for some reason isn't moving. End quote. This episode will air on June 23rd. With that summary now said, let's now move on to my thoughts regarding this episode. Well, seeming as this episode is the final episode before the league begins, where it's already been hinted that Magearna will be used in the league due to old Pokefan spoilers, I assume our classmates and Lillie will have found a way to wake up Magearna in this episode. And then, sometime after the league, we will finally get that Monarch where our characters go and rescue Morn. which there definitely is time for that, and even one big final arc, as the league would most likely end midway through August, and everybody is speculating that Sword and Shield will release in November. So, yeah, not only that, but I do believe there would even be time for final character development episodes after the league, much like how Serena received her final piece of development in the third to last XY episode. What I'm thinking is that Lillie will finally work out what she wants to work towards for a goal after the league and the Monarch, and then finally evolve Snowy using the Ice Stone if it had not evolved at this moment in time. Snowy being very similar to Happiny, which I honestly think that'll be such a fulfilling ending to its character and even Lillie's character overall. But anyway, let's now truly focus on this one episode. Yeah, it looks like it could be a neat episode. I'm very intrigued to see how Lillie and Magearna will get along, and even what kind of powers Magearna uses. Not only that, but I do believe this will be the episode where Lillie finally masters Sub-Zero Slammer with Snowy. So that way, she's all prepared for the league, which would be satisfying to see her grow even further. However, you could be asking yourself right now, what about Mallow mastering her Z move? And well, seeing now she doesn't have an episode before the league, nor do I think she would steal Lillie's spotlight in this episode, I honestly think she will master a Z move within the actual league. Herself finding Serena to be in a tough spot, but thanks to her being in sync with her Pokemon, the Sea Crystal would then sparkle, and they would then take the risk of using Bloom Doom, which they would successfully pull off. It's pretty much the only way at this moment in time, and I think it would be pretty sweet to see. The classmates having had their own unique ways to master their Z moves. But with that theory now said though, honestly, there's nothing else I could possibly say for this episode that I haven't already. It's that simple of a character development episode for Lillie. So, let's now finally move on to that most anticipated title and summary, which is episode 128, The Curtain Rises, the Alola Pokemon League. The summary for this episode states, quote, "As the others have finally arrived at the Manalo Stadium, where the Pokemon League will be held, but Team Rocket and Team Skull are there as well." End quote. This episode will air on June 30th. This meaning that we're only 29 days away from the Alola League. Hey! So with that summary now said, let's now move on to my thoughts regarding this episode. Oh, it's finally here boys, the Alola League. And despite this episode sounding like a normal introduction episode to the league, an episode where Ash meets all the competitors and most likely competes in his first match, it's just quite exciting for me and many other people that we're already going to be watching the Alola League, as League arcs are always some of the best arcs in the Pokemon anime due to the exhilarating battles we get to witness, and the fact that this league is going to be quite different than the other leagues we've witnessed, because anybody can enter, Ash's companions and even Team Rocket competing in the league, which opens up so many possibilities, making a quite unpredictable league, which is an amazing feeling due to previous leagues being so easy to predict. And, you know, just the theme that this league has, that being that Kukui wants to make it open to anybody to compete due to wanting all sorts of trainers to grow and learn from each other, is something I really adore. It fits the themes of this series and the Alola region perfectly. Hell, this league is called the Manalo League, which if you remember from the Necrozma arc, Manalo, according to Kyowe, means, quote, "You and I are living here together," end quote, which that just expresses the theme of this league even further. That's brilliant. But that's all I say regarding this league's theme now, as I've ranted about everything else regarding it plenty enough in my episode 115 review. I'll leave a link to that review in the description below if you want to hear more of my thoughts regarding it. But finally, the final reason why I'm excited for this league is due to the fact that the summary revealed that Team Skull will play some major role in it, which as we all know from episode 115, we know Guzma wants to destroy the Pokemon League due to thinking he's the strongest trainer in Alola. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up entering anyway to prove this point. or if he gets his grunts to enter so nobody pays attention to him trying to destroy the league from the outside, then leading into a Team Skull arc afterwards, this being very similar to the Team Flare arc. Ooh, I'm just getting even more hyped just by thinking about all of this. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see Ash's reaction to Team Rocket entering this league as well. I know that's gonna make for a funny conversation. But with that said, now that I've expressed all this excitement towards the Alola League, I do however now need to also express why I feel a little bit anxious and even disappointed regarding this league as well. It's not all perfect, despite my anticipation making it sound like that it is. I mean, I would say my enthusiasm towards the positive points are stronger than my feelings towards the negatives. However, the negatives are something I cannot ignore. So, firstly, let's bring up the obvious first displeasure, which some people have expressed online already as well. How did not have another episode before this league, himself only having one episode and one appearance in the series so far. Like, what? Why did the anime do this? They literally hyped up Hal in all sorts of promotional material only for him to have one episode. And yes, technically it isn't confirmed in any episodes yet if Hal is going to enter the league or not, but come on, it's very likely that we're gonna see him compete, due to him wanting to grow as a trainer and just have fun with battles, much like Ash, who Ash is even his rival. Hal is already wasted potential, nor do I think whatever we see from him within the league will change my mind about him being wasted potential. As I beg to differ, we will see him after the league as well, due to that Morn arc and many more remaining plot points needing to be wrapped up. It would have been lovely if he was a recurring rival like Gladion. You know, maybe instead of our Pikachu Expedition episode, we could have gotten another episode dedicated to Hal. But nope. Well, on the topic of characters only receiving one episode before the league, that brings me to Guzma. I would have killed to see another episode dedicated to him before the league as well. However, unlike Hal, I somehow feel like this will be made up with a Team Skull arc, or whatever he is planning to do to destroy the Pokemon League during this arc. My final dissatisfaction towards the league is that we will most likely not receive a 6v6 battle, due to Ash not having a 6th Pokemon on hand, and the fact that every other trainer competing only has 1 to 3 Pokemon on hand. I mean, I don't hold much of a grudge against this as much as I do regarding Hal's character, and the fact that I actually like this league's theme. However, I'm sure many of us can agree that one of the most hype-inducing things when it came to the league is the fact that they finally gave us the excuse to watch a 6v6 battle, which always ended up being some of the best Pokemon battles in the entire anime, due to the long amount of incredible action we get to watch. Yet, it looks like it's not gonna happen. But again, I can let this one slide, unlike Hal's character. One thing I've seen some people complain about regarding the league happening now is the fact that Melton did not receive a couple more episodes before it started. However, I think this is possible to me personally, as we already got 4 spectacular Melton focused episodes and 2 decent Melton battles, along with future development having been set up. That being that Ash and Melton need to work on their teamwork more due to Melton ignoring some of Ash's commands at time to time, which I'm sure will get solved within the league, which would be kinda neat to see, especially because, again, this league is to help trainers and their Pokemon grow. Ash's and Melton's relationship here displaying the theme of this league even more. With all of that now said though, that everybody pretty much concludes all of my thoughts on this episode. Obviously, I found some distaste in some of the decisions the writers decided to make before the league. However, if I am at least to stay positive about those negatives, I'm still very eager to see this league go down for the other reasons I've already stated. Like, come on, it's a league arc. We all love them so much. What do you think of these episodes though? Let me know in the comments down below, along with which episode you are most excited to watch. I love to hear, as we can have different opinions, and that's always okay. And with that said, for everybody, now concludes today's video. So if you were informed with the latest Pokemon news and enjoyed hearing my thoughts on them, then please be sure to consider leaving a like, a share, and if you're new here, subscribe along with that bell icon to stay in the loop with all things Pokemon anime related. If you want to support this channel any further way, I also have a Patreon. Thank you for watching everybody, this is Entity Maze, signing out.